Hello students, today we will continue NCERT Class 9 Chapter 15 Improvement in Food Resources. In today's class, we will discuss about manure and fertilizers. The fertility of soil can be increased by adding manure and fertilizers. If crops are grown repeatedly on a piece of land, the nutrient of the soil, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. get depleted and the soil becomes infertile. So the crop yields is lowered. Manure and fertilizers are added to the soil to make up for the loss of these elements. Let us discuss about manure. Manure is a substance that increases the soil fertility. Now the question is, what do you mean by soil fertility? As we know, manure is a way of providing nutrients to the soil. So what happens when we add manure to the soil? We are actually enriching the soil with the nutrients. So now the soil has all the nutrients and as a result the soil is very good for growth of plant. Means soil is capable of growing plants. Now how do we prepare manure? Manure is prepared by the decomposition of animal excreta and plant waste. Now, when it is made up of animal excreta and plant waste, it is very obvious that it will consist of organic matter because our body is made up of all organic compounds. Since it is made by the decomposition of the excreta, it has lot of organic matter. And it also has some nutrients and these nutrients it provides to the soil. Organic matter which is present in the manure improves the soil structure. It increases the water holding capacity in soil. You have many different types of soils. For example, we have sandy soil, we have clay soil, black soil. Each type of soil has a special characteristics. Like sandy soil do not hold a lot of water. So when this manure will apply to a sandy soil, it increases the water holding capacity. It helps in drainage and it also avoids waterlogging that is generally seen in clay soil. So if we use manure in case of clay soil, it will remove waterlogging, it will help in drainage. Although manure is rich in organic matter, it is not very rich in nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. On the basis of kind of biological waste used to make manure, it can be classified into three types, that is compost, vermicompost and green manure. Compost. It is made from farm waste materials such as livestock excreta, cow dung, etc. Vegetable waste, animal refuse, domestic waste, sewage waste, straw, eradicated weeds, etc. This material is decomposed in pits and this process of decomposition is also called composting. This compost is rich in organic matter and nutrients. Now, vermicompost. The compost which is made by the decomposition of plant and animal refuse with the help of earthworm is called vermicompost. In this method, earthworm eat the biological waste. The casting of earthworm means the excretion of the earthworm is known as vermicast and that is the vermicompost. Now next is green manure. The name itself ends a lot about it. So green manure means it is formed from green plants. So some green plants are produced and stuffed under the soil. Prior to the sowing of the crop seeds, some plants like sun, hemp or guar, etc. are grown and then mulched by plugging them into the soil. The green plants thus changed into green manure, which helps in enriching the soil in nitrogen and phosphorus. This makes the field suitable for the cultivation of wheat, rice or maize, which usually require a lot of nutrients. Now, fertilizers. Fertilizers are commercially produced plant nutrients. Fertilizers supply nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. They are used to ensure good vegetative growth of leaves, branches and flowers, giving rise to a healthy plants. They are prepared in a concentrated form, so it is easy to transport them. Fertilizers are available in the form of granules, water-soluble powders. As chemical fertilizers are nutrient specific, they are applied in accordance with the crop requirements. Many kinds of fertilizers are available in the market. The three main types of chemical fertilizers are nitrogen fertilizer, phosphatic fertilizer, that is superphosphate, ammonium phosphate, and common potassium fertilizers, that is potassium nitrate, potassium chloride, potassium sulfate. These fertilizers are used for enhancing the vegetative and reproductive growth of the plant. Fertilizers have to be selected according to the type of crops and the kind of soil. For example, leguminous crops such as pulses, groundnuts, red gram, etc. do not need nitrogenous fertilizers. This is because the roots of such crops have nitrogen fixing bacteria, that is rhizobium, which can convert nitrogen of air into nitrogen compounds. Fertilizers change the chemical nature of the soil. The high yielding varieties of staple food crops like rice and wheat require large amounts of nutrients, causing a severe deficiency of nutrients in the soil. So, during the cultivation of these crops, regular application of chemical fertilizer is needed. Now, application of fertilizers. Different fertilizers are used at different times and in different ways. They should be applied in a proper dose and at the proper time. The application of fertilizers may be done before sowing, during irrigation and by spraying them. Judicious use of fertilizers. Fertilizers should be used only when they are required. An excessive use of fertilizers degrades the soil and harms water bodies. For example, nitrogen fertilizers make the soil and water rich in nitrogen compounds. Nitrate-rich water is not suitable for drinking. Besides, it encourages the growth of algae, which ultimately decreases the oxygen content of the water. This leads to the death of aquatic life. Now, disadvantages of fertilizers. The excessive use of fertilizers can change the nature of the soil, making it either too acidic or too alkaline. These fertilizers finally reach the aquatic system during the rainy season, making the water unfit for human consumption. Many forms of aquatic life, including fish, may die as a result of water pollution. Now, organic farming. It is a farming system with minimal or no use of chemicals as fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides, etc. and with a maximum input of organic manures, recycled farm wastes, straw and livestock excreta, use of bioagents such as culture of blue-green algae in preparation of biofertilizers, neem leaves or turmeric specifically in grain storage as biopesticides with healthy cropping systems, that is mixed cropping, intercropping and crop rotation. These cropping systems are beneficial in insects, pests and weed controls, besides providing nutrients. So that's all for today's class. Bye-bye.